Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. Believe it or not, I'm actually recording this the night before King of the Ring. Like I said, because of my work schedule, I feel like I'm just gonna get ahead of everything, and I'm gonna get ahead of the battle if you don't mind. Right now, it's 9:26 p.m. Obviously, you're hearing this like around maybe 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. So obviously, if anything broke in the news the next day, probably get an actual video about it rather than actually talking about it in the pay-per-view. So let's see what we got on the tap for the next day, but we're gonna pretend as if we're talking about today because you're listening to it today. Okay, you get the gist. We have Gunther versus Randy Orton in the finals for the King of the Ring. Obviously, like I said in the community post yesterday, this is going to be a #1 contender shot for SummerSlam. It only took them, over 20 years to bring back that stipulation. But hey, better late than never. Hopefully, this continues to be a tradition. We have Lyra Valkyria taking on Nia Jackson, the Queen of the Ring finals, and they also get a title shot coming up at the King of the Ring. We have Becky Lynch taking on Liv Morgan for the Women's Championship. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. And for the main event of the evening, we have Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. So, looks like we have no mention of the WWE Champion. Okay, whatever. This is why I still advocate for the practice of single-branded shows, but I get it. People don't want to see it. I understand. It just feels weird to have a show like this and not even, make reference to your WWE, heavyweight champion. But I get it. That's fine. That's okay. I will say, though, looking at this card, now, should I harp on the fact that the build for the show was not good? I did not feel that the road to King of the Ring was substantial at all. I have personally, honestly, the only thing that's really having me attached to the card at all is based simply off of name value, and I get it. Maybe that's the path that WWE was going towards to begin with. So I'm not here to rain on their parade. I'm just here noticing that this card, for the most part, doesn't have that much build. It kind of seems like, the whole concept of the King of the Ring was just a lazy attempt at not being able to really put across any legitimate stories, knowing that they're going to Saudi Arabia. But again, I digress. It's as if we don't get this all the time when going to the Saudi Arabia shows. Rarely do we get legitimate build going into any of the fucking Saudi Arabia shows, because clearly they don't give a fuck about any of the Saudi Arabia shows. But like I said, again, at least there's some consequences. There's actually a lot of consequences. Actually, every match has consequences attached to it. So that's definitely a good thing at the very least. Again, if there's not a title, it's, going off of the King and Queen of the Ring, which obviously stems off of a #1 contender shot at SummerSlam. So that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. And I have no doubt in my mind that the majority of these matches are going to slay. Yacht Queen, they're going to slay. Like, oh my God, they're going to slay. Daddy. So, I'm looking forward to it, but, I'm not looking forward to it. Does that make any sense? Of course it does. I'm fucking Devontae. But we're going to fast forward to tomorrow, and I'm going to be talking about King of the Ring tomorrow. So we're going to fast forward 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, probably, no, 1, right? 1. So we're going to fast forward about 16 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right. 16 hours that way. Into the future we go. Come on. Alright, so I'm just now pulling out of work. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I get a tad bit of road rage. Just a little bit. So if you hear me react in a certain kind of way, I'm not that kind of person. It's just I live in Miami, and by default, I get automatically mad when I drive behind the Cuban. It's just the way of life, okay? You have to live in Miami to understand it. But I just got finished watching the Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch match. Right now, as we speak, I'm doing two things at one time. I got the match on, but I got to put my cell phone on because I'm driving. So I'm eyeing the triple threat match as we're talking about this at the moment. They're currently doing the entrances right now. Hopefully, I can just pull into a gas station real quick and just watch the match because I really want to watch this match. But the one-on-one match with Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch, it was a solid match, right? It was a good match. I have no problems with it whatsoever. The girls did their spots correctly, although I did feel that Becky Lynch was a little bit hesitant on some of the spots. Outside of that, though, they did their thing in regards to the actual spots done in the match, but the story of the match is obviously the finish. I will say, again, the hesitancy behind Becky Lynch and her moves that shit aggravates the shit. And this isn't her first time doing this also. Like, she's done this shit plenty of times where, like, she'll do a spot and, like, she'll set up for the spot way too early, or, like I said, she'll hesitate before actually taking the spot. It's really, really fucking annoying. And to be quite frank with you, it kind of ruins the story to a certain degree. Not the actual story in terms of, like, the development of the angle, but as far as how they're trying to get the conclusion of the story over with the rest of the audience in order to resonate with everybody else, because of how fucking sloppy Becky Lynch happens to be on multiple occasions. She is way, how can I put this? For her position, she is, and how can I put this? She is too much of a veteran. I think that's the best way to say it. She is too much of a veteran, supposedly one of the more experienced women of the rosters. She has too much clout in regards to that, to be as sloppy and as, like I said, I think sloppy is the best word. Yeah, she's too experienced to be as sloppy as she comes off in the matches that she participates in, man. So what I mean by that is the finish of this match essentially came where Dominic Mysterio came out, right? And he was distracting Becky Lynch multiple times throughout the match. Well, the spot of the finish came where he slid a chair in the ring, right? And, like, for some reason, Becky Lynch, she bent her head over for, like, Liv Morgan to hit the DDT on her, but she did it like 4 or 5 seconds too early. And you may say to yourself, well, Devontae, that's not really that big of a deal. Well, it is kind of a big of a deal. It's that kind of a big of a deal when you kind of, like, forecast what your opponent's gonna do, and it makes the whole fucking spot look stupid as fuck. I hate that kind of shit, bruh. Like, again, you're in your position as far as being an experienced veteran should tell you that, hey, man, maybe do a different spot if it means that you're going to be that hesitant before actually completing the spot. Nevertheless, though, Liv Morgan DDT'd her on the chair, and then afterwards she hit her with Oblivion when Becky Lynch was leaning on the rope. So Liv Morgan's the new, what would you call it? Well, she's the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion, right? Like the Women's World Champion, I think, is what she is. Got the Women's Championship is on SmackDown. I think that's Bayley. So congratulations to Liv Morgan. Obviously, we know where this angle is going in the end of the day. It's clear that this whole thing is a setup from Liv Morgan to set up to, you know, because obviously the whole stuff that's going on for this is, you know, she wants revenge on Rhea Ripley for taking her out, and this is just multiple ways. She injured her. She took the belt that she felt that Liv Morgan, or she took the belt that Rhea Ripley lost because she's now the champion, and then obviously the conclusion is she took her boyfriend, or whatever you want to say about that. She's taking everything away from Rhea Ripley, and it's a perfect setup. It's very similar to the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk angle in the sense of, like, you know, the other superstar isn't really there to defend themselves. So I am curious as to what's going to happen going forward, because we know what the conclusion is going to be. I'm just curious as to how they're going to get there with Dominic and Liv Morgan, right? And again, kudos to Dominic Mysterio. For some reason, this kid always finds himself in some type of storyline, and in some cases, even multiple storylines where you're just like, God damn, bro, you're building up a legacy for yourself. For a guy who isn't what you would call the quintessential professional wrestler in the sense of he can do all the fancy, and it's not to say that Dominic is a bad wrestler, but, like, you know, I don't even know if he has a legitimate finisher. Is it really just the frog splash, for an example? He's like the epitome of what a character is, right? He's not really what you would call your traditional professional wrestler. He's just a legitimate fucking character. So, like I said, outright, as far as the story is considered, as far as the match was fine. It didn't do anything to fucking, I don't know, like, embarrass themselves outside of the fucking finish. I really did hate what Becky Lynch did. It didn't do anything in the sense of, like, being completely fucking cringe. Again, it's just that Becky Lynch, you would think she knows better. It's just that's at least how I look at that, is that she knows better in regards to the spots that she does in most of the matches that she competes in. You would think by now she would understand if you can't fucking complete the spot in the correct manner to not make it look sloppy, then don't fucking do it at all. Especially coming from Becky Lynch, because I know people like to say Becky Lynch is one of the best women wrestlers currently going on today. I disagree. Her promos are absolute fucking cringe, and, you know, the whole 9 yards. Her character, or lack thereof, she hasn't really been relevant for real for over 5 or 6 years, in my opinion. But even her wrestling, I still look at that and I say to myself, people give her way too much stuff for her wrestling. She is not a good wrestler at all. She has her moments, but nah. I think out of all the 4 horsewomen, honestly, she's probably the worst wrestler in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. With that being said, let's get to the triple threat match. All right, let's go. Jesus Christ, I swear to God, bro. Yo, The driving, bro. Goddamn, I pull over for 2 minutes to watch the last minutes of the goddamn triple threat. Get back on the road. Man, let me hurry and get the fuck home, man. Thank God it's not a traffic jam. Yeah, we still got like what? I still got like another like 10 more minutes before I can actually make it to my house. But yeah, I'm still driving at the moment. The triple threat match, I had to pull over to watch the conclusion of it. The match was fucking fantastic, by the way. That was fantastic. I will say this though, is it just me? I can't be the only one to notice the fact that Sami Zayn, and look, I get it. Maybe it's more so like the citizenry, if you will. Like they don't give a shit about the government affairs as far as what's going on, foreign affairs between two neighboring countries or whatnot. But I can't be the only one to kind of look at that. It's like super ironic, right? You got the people from Saudi Arabia cheering the shit out of Sami Zayn, who's from Syria. You know, well, he's not from Syria, but his descent, like his family, his heritage is from Syria. I mean, maybe it's just the fact that they just don't give a shit. Oh, he's Muslim. We're Muslim, so we're all good. It's all good. I don't know. I just always find it funny. It's like the guy from Syria is getting like you know, like the hometown hero from Saudi Arabia. It's like Triple H. You would think, and look, hey, he got an awesome reaction. You know, he's one of those superstars, one of the rare superstars, if not the only superstar, who he has a home base in a bunch of different countries. Like, you know, because of his language barrier, because of his ethnicity, because of his background, you know, he can be in Canada, he'll get over. He can be in France because he speaks French, he'll get over. He could be in the States because he resides in the States and he has a big fan base here, he'll get over. He's Muslim, so he can go to another territory, he'll get over. Like, Sami Zayn has a job for life. Like, I just find it funny how they just put him in the match where a guy happens to be Syrian and Saudi Arabia, and they're just cheering him like fucking crazy. It's like, do you guys know this, or do you just not give a fuck? I mean, if you don't give a fuck, then that's cool also. Like, you know what I mean? That's really fucking cool. Seems that you guys are super duper open-minded. What can I say? But, what else happened, man? God damn it, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. Yo, it's like, damn it. It's fucking Cubans and they're driving, bro. The exit is like fucking 30 feet away. How do you come over 4 lanes, bro, without even fucking putting on your turn signal? Damn, bro. We go through this shit all the time here in Miami, man. I swear to God, bro. Sorry. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying. Yo, so this triple threat match was awesome. The German suplex, the little triple German suplex that Bronson Reed, actually that Chad Gable did to Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn was fucking awesome. I love the double moonsault spot from Bronson Reed and then immediately from Chad Gable. That was awesome. Sami Zayn doing the blue thunder bomb to Bronson Reed. These guys killed it in this triple threat match. This was a really, really fun match. I don't know if I would quite put it up there with the NXT match that we just watched about a month or two ago, but I would definitely say this was one of my favorite triple threat matches of the year. These guys went out there and they fucking killed it. Also, I did really, really love the fact that they were chanting "You suck" at Chad Gable. I heard that they were doing that, but this is my first time witnessing this. If that doesn't tell you already to bring back Kurt Angle, I don't know what the fuck will. And then just all the multiple stories that are being told in the match in itself is really fucking awesome too. You have one instance where you have the crowd behind Sami Zayn, they're doing their thing, right? And then you have this other subplot of Chad Gable getting into Otis's face and he's trying to make him do naughty things. It was a spot. By the way, Bronson Reed doing the suicide dive. Fucking terrifying. Awesome as shit. Dope as fuck. Fucking terrifying. Chad Gable has Sami Zayn up, tied up, right, and he's telling Otis to hit him, and Otis can't bring he can't bring himself to doing it. The crowd, they're reacting to Otis, they're cheering because they think he's finally gonna stand up for himself for the first time. Nope. No matter how many times Chad Gable was slapping him, and by the way, Chad Gable's killing it in this heel roll, by the way. Eventually, Otis did listen to Chad Gable, but he ended up hitting Chad Gable. He tried to clothesline Sami ducked, and then he ended up hitting Chad Gable. Eventually, Sami gets in the ring and he hits a haluva kick on Bronson Reed and he gets the win through that. And then on the outside, Chad Gable is chastising Otis. The crowd is going crazy for Sami Zayn. Again, solid match. You know, the Tower of Doom spot, the triple German suplex, which I thought was fucking awesome. The trading, the fucking ankle lock spot where Chad Gable putting it on Bronson Reed and then Sami Zayn coming behind him and putting it on top of him. Again, awesome spot from Sami Zayn with the blue thunder bomb. One of the most hellacious spots in the entire fucking match with the suicide dive from Bronson Reed. These guys went out there and they fucking murdered it. They fucking murdered it. Probably my second favorite triple threat match of the entire year, behind the one with with Obafemi and Dominic Dijak and Josh Briggs at NXT last month. Solid match, awesome match all around, and great story. And again, at this point in time, we can bring back Kurt Angle, right? Right. We're at that point right now, right? Because God knows, I swear, I'm not going to be able to make it home to see Kurt Angle come back in the future with these fucking guys and when they goddamn drive, motherfuckers. All right, by the time I begin to the next match, I think it's Nia Jax and Lyra Valkyria coming up. I will be recording that inside of my house. So with that being said, I will see you guys there. All right, let's go. Continuing on. But again, if I don't record next, hopefully someone will reach this recording and you will know why, because Cubans should not have license. All right, let's continue on. Jesus. Oh my God, that is gonna go down, honestly, as far as the women are considered, that's gonna go down. That's gonna go down as one of the most brutal fucking finishes I think I've ever seen a woman take. That was nasty as fuck. The match in itself, though, you know what? I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna continue to praise Nia Jax. I don't know who the fuck is training her. I don't know if she like went to Fit Fenley and like she started sparring in the ring like every fucking day to get better. This Nia, god damn it, this Nia Jax is like a million times better than the Nia Jax that was here back in 2015 to when she left to begin with. She's gotten significantly better in the ring. I think everybody can agree upon that, right? She's taking more nastier spots. She's putting herself, she kind of reminds me of a Big Show, like a female Big Show, but I mean this in a complimentary way. Not Big Show today, but the way she works reminds me of Big Show back in like the mid 90s. You know what I mean? When he was way more athletic, when he could actually take bumps and stuff like that. And it's funny because she's older, obviously, compared to what she was when she first started wrestling in WWE. When she was first in WWE, I think she was like in her, late 20s, maybe early 30s. And now I think Nia Jax has got to be pushing 40 right about now, right? And she's gotten better with age. You know, she went out there and she trained her ass off. And, you know, all the props in the road to Lyra Valkyria for actually, you know, obviously she has to be the one to, you know, take the spot. She has to be the one to give the spots. And she worked really, really well with Nia Jax. Now, granted, you're going to see the score. And yes, it's like I think I put 2.5 stars. But it's a solid 2.5 stars. Almost 2 3/4. I can't really go that far because I don't really think it was that good of a match in the grand scheme of things. But it is an improvement. But for a Nia Jax match, it was actually pretty damn good, right? And they did some pretty cool spots in this match. You know, you got the little bulldog Rey Mysterio style from Lyra Valkyria on Nia Jax outside of the ring. That was really cool. You did get the spot in the inside of the ring with the double stump on Nia Jax when she was hanging in the Tree of Woe position. I like that. Those are some really cool spots. But the finish, which I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be talking about, again, one of the most brutal fucking finishes that didn't end up injuring somebody. At least I don't hope it did. It didn't. I mean, maybe it did. I don't know. Lyra Valkyria is trying to go for a sunset flip powerbomb on Nia Jax. Bruh, Nia held on to the fucking ropes. And while Lyra is struggling to powerbomb her off the middle rope, Nia just hit her with an annihilator from the second rope while she's standing up. That shit looked disgusting. That was such an awesome finish. That finish made the entire match. That was fucking dope. She put her in a fucking sunset flip powerbomb and then hit her with a fucking brush. She hit her with the annihilator outside of the spot. Hold on, hang on. Oh, so a bit of breaking news. It looks like Becky Lynch is most likely gonna get a rematch against Liv Morgan this upcoming Monday Night Raw. So, okay, I really don't give a shit one way or the other, but whatever. But yeah, that fucking spot from Nia Jax was so fucking dope. That was a dope ass spot. And, you know, obviously she won off of that. You ain't kicking out of that fucking move, bruh. You got a 400-pound woman, or close to 400 pounds, jumping on your sternum while you're standing up. And I gotta say, bruh, props to Lyra Valkyria. That's her paying her fucking dues on the main roster, bruh. That's what that was. That was Lyra Valkyria being a fucking team player, bruh. You guys got to go back and watch that spot to see what I'm talking about. If you didn't see that spot, you got to go back and go watch it. That was just such a disgusting fucking spot. And like I said, that made the entire match for me. And again, overall, Nia Jax improving. That's a good thing. Lyra Valkyria, she played her role. Like I said, it wasn't the best match, but when you take into context is Nia Jax, and again, she did dramatically improve. And like I said, that finish is that's probably gonna be the best finish of the night. We'll see, but that looks like I don't think that is gonna top that. I don't think anything's gonna top that. So with that being said, again, solid match from the girls. Nia Jax ended up getting the Queen of the Ring crown. Triple. By the way, it took me a minute. I just realized the show's called King and Queen of the Ring. I kept calling it King of the Ring, but who cares? And I don't care, and that's okay. Triple H ended up coming in the ring. He put the crown on Nia Jax's head. She's like crying, and then she stops crying, and she's like, "You guys didn't care for me. I'm back to doing the Nia Jax stereotypical girl heel promo. Do you hear my enunciation? That's how you can tell that I'm a heel, because every heel talks like this who happens to be a woman." So, her and Bayley, SummerSlam. Honestly, at this point, I don't even care if she takes the belt off of Bayley. If Bayley's reign is going to continue to be the way that it is right now, I'm actually perfectly fine with Nia Jax win. I mean, not to mention, is it just me? Or I feel like, I did hear this talking point on social media. I mean, is it just me, or is it kind of obvious that Nia's going to beat Bayley? Is it just me, or is it pretty obvious that they're going to do the whole Nia Jax is going to be the champion, and then it's going to be Charlotte Flair coming back, and it's supposed to be Queen versus Queen? I think that's what I heard on social media, which makes all the sense in the world. So, countdown to Bayley losing the championship belt, right? Oh my God. Talk about transitional champion who I didn't think was meant to be a transitional champion. With that being said, though, I think Randy and Gunther is coming up next. So that's the match I've been looking forward to the most on this. So let's get to it. Continuing on. All right. Okay. So I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say about this match. I think this match is the definition of acquired taste. I think if you're a fan of old school wrestling, I think if you're a fan of, say, for an example, I'll throw out some names for you guys. If you love Harley Race, for an example, right? If you're a big fan of Terry Funk or Dory Funk or any of the old school Southern type of wrestling, I guarantee you a match like this, Jim Cornette fucking jizzed his goddamn pants over. I don't hate this match. This was a very cerebral type of match, and honestly, it's up my alley in regards to the things that I like in my professional wrestling. It told a great story. Randy Orton sold the ever-loving shit out of his back and his knee. Gunther attacked that son of a bitch, and I love when wrestlers go after body parts, and the body parts, it's what leads to your downfall, especially in the way how the finish actually happened. If you're that good of a worker and you perform a match in that manner, it gives you an out even though you lost clean. That's the best way to work. If you can work a match and lose clean and it still not bother you without having to lose an angle, that's how you can tell when you're a great worker, a great professional wrestler, right? And like I said, it's not, this match is not going to be for everyone. See, I can guarantee you this is the kind of match where the ratings are going to be all over the board. I can honestly see people giving this match a 3 3/4, and at the same time, I can see people giving this match 2.5 stars. Because like I said, if you're used to, say, the AEW style of matches, like the Penta matches or the Rey Fenix type of matches, or any of those kind of stuff with the super kicks and the destroyers and the front flips outside of the ring, if that's the kind of match that you're used to, I don't think this is the match for you. I don't think you're gonna like this match. But for the people who are into old school wrestling, and I'll even go as far as to say this. Now, obviously, this is an outlier if you happen to not be the case, but I'm gonna generalize here, and I'm gonna say that I'm just gonna throw out an age group. If you're below the age of 30, I think it's going to be a lot harder for you to like a match like this. I think if you're above the age of 30, in particular, if you're, I'll put it to you this way, if you're below the age of 30, but in particular below the age of 25, I'm not sure if you're gonna dig this match. Actually, hang on for let me see what Triple H is saying. All right, so that just got made official right now. So we're gonna do it. It's gonna be McIntyre versus Priest at Clash at the Castle for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now it makes you wonder, right? Because you got to think to yourself, the winner of this match, they're most likely gonna take on Gunther coming up at the I can't actually say that because Money in the Bank is gonna be in July. So we'll just have to wait and see how that's going to actually take place. Is CM Punk going to play a factor into that? You got to think that because it's going to be in Glasgow, right? That Drew McIntyre is going to be retarded over. Like, he's going to be one of the most over wrestlers probably like in the history of the business as far as reaction is considered when he comes to Glasgow. It's a European country, and Drew McIntyre is on fire right now, and he's going to Glasgow. He's going to be cheered like nobody's fucking business. My thing is, do you make the mistake of having CM Punk play a part into Drew McIntyre losing the championship, or do you make the mistake of having CM Punk coming out? Because CM Punk's going to get booed. They're going to Glasgow. Punk is going to get booed if you have him interact with Drew McIntyre in any way, shape, or possible. There might even be a chance that you might get CM Punk sucks chance, even if Punk is not even out there. So that's going to be very peculiar as how they're going to play that out, because Gunther going to SummerSlam, I still think it's going to be Damian Priest and Gunther. I still think that's going to be the plays just so it could be an easier transition to give Gunther the World Heavyweight Championship, because he's going to win that belt at SummerSlam. Make no mistake about it. He's going to win that championship at SummerSlam. And Nia's going to win the belt at SummerSlam also, because you're trying to establish the King of the Ring as being something going forward. So I think for sure that Gunther's going to win that championship belt, but it does lead a bunch of concerns as to what's going to happen with Punk and McIntyre. Now, you can argue Punk and McIntyre doesn't even need the championship belt, right? But are you really going to do something along the lines of having McIntyre not win the championship in Glasgow? That's going to be very interesting when we get there. But going back to what I was saying about Gunther and Randy Orton. So the match in itself, like I said, very methodical. Gunther working over the back, working over the knee, bunch of rest holds, bunch of submission holds, not a lot of high spots, very chess oriented is what I would call this match. Not a restaurant quality match, very chess oriented to see what's going to be the guy's next move, how they're going to interact with the next spot. And each guy in the counters that they were doing, it wasn't anything fancy. It was very fundamental, but it played an important part to the story that was Randy Orton's messed up knee and messed up lower back that played into the finish. Yes, you got certain high spots like Randy Orton hitting the back suplex to Gunther on the announcement table. Yes, you got Gunther going for a splash, which, by the way, how fucking awesome is Gunther? This dude slipped off the ropes going for his big splash and still made the move look cleaner than a bitch. Only Gunther can do some shit like that, bruh. And you did get Randy Orton hitting 2 RKOs on Gunther. One RKO, it ended up with Gunther rolling out the ring rather than kicking out of it. The second RKO was Randy Orton selling the knee, but Gunther did kick out of that. I think that was a mistake. There was no need for 2 RKOs in my opinion, but I get it. Randy Orton is trying to put over Gunther really, really well. I get it. I understand. The finish essentially came when, I think when Randy did hit the RKO, right? He was selling the knee, so he didn't put the story was when he actually went for the pin cover, he didn't really put his I think it was his left knee. He didn't plant his left foot on the mat, so he didn't have proper leverage to get a legitimate lateral pinfall, right? Or I guess it would have been a hook. I guess a lateral would be you laying stomach to stomach on a guy. But regardless, though, Gunther, when he kicked out, he ended up hitting Randy Orton's messed up knee, and when he kicked out, he like. You know how when I think it was Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, or Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, I can't remember the match, when they kicked out, they ended up low blowing the Undertaker, or Brock Lesnar? Who was it? I forgot the match where that happened, or was it Roman Reigns versus one of the wrestlers, or was it Roman? I think it was Roman actually. When was it? I can't remember who he wrestled against. Maybe Jey Uso, when he kicked out and he ended up low blowing the wrestler in the process, something along the lines of that, right? Very similar to what Gunther did, but he instead hit Randy Orton in his injured knee. When Orton was selling the knee, Gunther took advantage of that and he hit a crucifix on him and he got the pinfall. It was a roll-up finish, technically speaking, because a crucifix it's a roll-up. And like I said, the match in itself, I personally thought it was fantastic. I thought it was a great match. I personally would give the match 3.5 stars. I personally enjoyed it. but that's my taste when it comes to professional wrestling. That's the kind of match that I was into growing up. That's the kind of matches you would get out of a Triple H and a Batista, for an example, right? That's the kind of match you would get out of John Cena and Kurt Angle with a little bit more chicanery. Don't get it twisted. But that's the kind of matches you would get out of the main event superstars back in the Attitude Era with a little bit of crowd fighting, right? So I'm used to this style of fighting, but I can understand for a person who's 25 and younger, they may not like the match. And Gunther did win the match. He got the crown. He didn't put it on. Triple H handed it to him, and he just held it, right? He made his point poignant, just like Nia Jax, that he doesn't need anyone's support. He's the king of the ring, and he's going to SummerSlam to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Short, sweet, to the point. Like I said, this is the kind of match that a Jim Cornette's going to be into. Not quite sure that this is going to be a match that Dave Meltzer will like. You get what I'm trying to say? I would recommend going back and watching it. This is the kind of match that I think if you're trying to be an aspiring professional wrestler, you should go back and watch it just to see how good and how smooth and how intricate these guys were. How you can actually, again, go out there and do a match. And if you know how to work it properly, you can lose clean and still come out looking very, very credible. We'll see what's going to go forward with Cody Rhodes. And, are they still going to do Randy and Cody at SummerSlam? I don't know. Again, we still have months to go with that match. Randy can still win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't know how we're going to get there, but I would like to see Cody and Randy going forward towards SummerSlam. Like I said, we'll get there when we get there. But as of right now, the ring, Gunther is the king of the ring. So with that being said, we have the main event, and Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. And like I said, one more time, if you guys didn't like the match, completely understand. I get it. This is going to be a generation type of thing in regards to how you're going to feel about this match. Me personally, though, I fuck with it. But with that being said, like I said, let's get to the main event. All right, so for anyone who doubts Logan Paul at this point, look, let's just stop it already. Stop it with the nonsense. Stop it with the animosity. Look, I get it. I don't care for Logan Paul also from a personal standpoint. You step outside the wrestling bubble and you start talking about Logan Paul and what Prime is doing to the kids and, the dink doink toink fucking bullshit or Crypto Zoo or the CoffeeZilla stuff. Yes, Logan Paul is a piece of human shit. We all understand this, right? But can we just separate? Can we separate the scumbag Logan Paul, the way he treats his friends, the way he treats his brother, the douchebag? Let's put that all to the side because we all recognize that to be the case when it comes to Logan Paul. Let's put aside our elitist mindset, our gatekeeping bullshit when it comes to Logan Paul being an outsider and him being a celebrity wrestler and he can't go to the Tokyo Dome, brother, and put on a 7-star classic which Omega. Like, no, please put it all to the side. Put aside the bias. Put aside the nonsense. Logan Paul is I'm sorry. He is not just an amazing talent. He is not a fabulous talent. He is a amazing fucking talent. He is fucking gifted. He is gifted. He is a prodigy when it comes to this shit. I can't stress it enough when I say how many wrestlers who claim to think that they know how to do this shit, the wrestlers who go out there and they pretend that they know what the fuck that they're doing, the guys who wrestle on the indie circuit for maybe some hot dog with mustard and relish, maybe relish as a bonus on their hot dog, for these guys to pretend that they can go out there and call themselves, have the audacity to call themselves professional wrestlers. They should be ashamed of themselves, and they should watch a Logan Paul, and they should put aside their fucking egos of believing that they've been doing it for a longer period of time, and that not just anyone can be a professional wrestler. No, not anyone can just be a professional wrestler, otherwise your ass wouldn't be inside the fucking ring, right? Put aside the Dave Meltzer bias of elitist mindset of pretending that, hey, I can go out there and do whatever fucking 5-star flippy dippy bullshit moves that I can fucking do and actually break my opponent's fucking neck in the process. And you learn from a Logan Paul. You see the things that a Logan Paul does, and you try your best to take what he's doing and put it within your repertoire and make it as effective as what he does. He is fucking phenomenal, to the point where I don't even feel it's even justice to call him a celebrity wrestler anymore. I'm just now at the point where I'm going to call him a wrestler. I'm at the point, because calling him a celebrity wrestler right now, if there was ever a tier list that you have to put on and say, oh, from S to F, who is the best celebrity performer in the history of professional wrestling, Logan Paul's S tier. He's S tier. No one does it. He's the best wrestler of all time when it comes to celebrity wrestlers. He's not a celebrity wrestler. He is a wrestler. He gets this shit. He understands this shit. Look at this fucking match right here, bruh. So, just the interaction along with him shit talking, with how he actually, his facials, his mannerisms, when he's actually conducting himself in the ring. It's not just doing the spots, because Logan can go out there and he can flip and he can do your little indie bullshit if he wants to, because unlike your twinks that go out there and pretend to do their gymnastics routines, Logan Paul actually does it just as good, but he does it on top of that effectively. He makes it a fucking point to get the move across, not just because he can do it, but because he's supposed to do it. It actually means more when he does a suplex or a fucking brainbuster or a fucking shooting star press up your ass, tiddlywink fucking 450 power driver through a thumbtack flaming table spot. I love the interaction between him and Michael Cole also. That was fucking fantastic too, when he's jabbering with Michael Cole and he's actually going back and forth. I don't know. I see when wrestlers attempt to do that, it seems like that they're scared. It seems like that they're tentative, right? That they're tentative, like they're afraid to go against the script of what they're trying to do as far as their performance is considered, because they're worried about the next fucking spot. No, Logan is not worried about the next spot. He's worried about what's the reaction gonna be like if he actually does this move. Not, can I impress my fucking friends backstage? Can I impress the fucking marks on the forearms? It's what's gonna be the reaction from the audience when I do this next move? What's gonna be the reaction from the audience when I actually interact with the superstar in the manner of how I'm interacting with them? He gets the prime drink and he gets on the turnbuckle and he shows the little 360 rotating camera that's going around him drinking prime. That's going to be a great advertising for Prime also, by the way. And then he does a frog splash to Cody Rhodes. Though working over Cody Rhodes, I like the spot also before all this even occurred where his little friend gets involved in Cody's face, and that's a way to get the referee distracted, to get brass knuckles from the next person in the audience to use against Cody Rhodes. That was a great spot. Great heel work. Really just layering it in, just laying it in, making the crowd get behind Cody Rhodes, feel sympathy for Cody Rhodes, because that's your job as a baby face. As a heel, excuse me. Your job as a heel is not to make yourself look cool, Kevin Owens. It's not to go out there and make snarky, smarky remarks, MJF. It's to get the crowd behind the baby face. Your job isn't to get the audience to hate you as much as it is the priority to get the people on the side of the baby face. And that's what Logan Paul has done. That's what he continues to fucking do. He gets heat not on himself specifically, he does that, but more so he gets heat on Cody Rhodes. He can make you hate him to the extent that you're going to cheer this guy. He is not trying to get you to pay a ticket to watch him go out there and perform. He's getting you to pay a ticket to watch the guy kick his ass. And you can't ask that from a better fucking heel. You can't ask that from a better fucking performer. You can make a strong argument. And please miss me with the nonsense of the people who can go out there and pop you with their fucking remarks. Logan Paul arguably might be one of the best heels going strong today. You can say top 3 for sure, and there's no argument from anybody who has any sense in the fucking world, who actually cares for professional wrestling or knows what professional wrestling does. He is by far top 3. There's no argument, but there's an argument that he is number 1 by far. And then you get straight to the finish with Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul, right? You get to the finish of Logan Paul pulling out the brass knuckles, right? He's going to hit Cody Rhodes with it because the referee is laid out after he low blowed him, right? He even hit Cody Rhodes with his own fucking crossroads early on before Cody Rhodes kicked out. And notice the actual reaction from Logan Paul. It's not immediately acting like a goofball. It's he's surprised. He's surprised by all the stuff that has occurred, from the crossroads, from the frog splash. Actually, I think the surprise look came from the frog splash after he frog splashed through the announce table. So I actually got that kind of mixed up. And I actually like the spot with Cody Rhodes hitting the Cody cutter off the barricade on top of Logan Paul on top of the announcing table. That was actually a really cool spot also. But like I said, the finish comes, right? And he pulls out the brass knuckles and he attempts to hit Cody Rhodes with it. Cody Rhodes grabs his arm. He takes the brass knuckles out of his hand and he hits him with 3 consecutive crossroads to put the end to Logan Paul, right? That's how it's done. He got the crowd behind Cody. He didn't get the crowd to necessarily hate him, although he did do that. He got the crowd behind Cody. And if all heels performed in the manner of how Logan Paul performed, that's how you get credible. That's how you get good baby faces. When you have the heels going out there trying to outperform the baby face, because it's easy. People say all the time, oh, well, can't the baby faces just be good so the heels don't have to be the ones that have to take the heat from it? No, your job, once again. It's like the old story of Owen Hart back in the days when Bret Hart told him not to go out there and do all the stuff he did in Stampede Wrestling. And Owen, he's pissed off because it's WrestleMania and he wants to show out. Bret is like, no, because it's not your time. It is not your moment. Your job is to go out there and put me the fuck over. That's your job. When you get to the point when you're a babyface and you're a champion and you can't do the things that you used to what you used to do, you're going to want that guy to put you over. So it's your job to not outshine the babyfaces. And it's like we completely forgot that in professional wrestling today. We completely forgot that, hey, your job is to go out there and make sure that babyface gets as much heat on him as humanly possible, because there's going to be an opportunity, there's going to be a chance, there may be a time where you're going to be in that guy's spot and the person across from you, you're going to not be able to perform in the same manner as how you used to perform. And you're going to want that guy to put you over in the same manner as this guy wants you to put him over today. That's professional wrestling, and that's how it's done. And Logan Paul is the fucking man, and he's amazing. And good match from Cody Rhodes as usual. The only complaint that I have about this is, again, the lack of build. The build for this match was absolutely garbaggio shit. But the match in itself, as always with Cody Rhodes, again, his fucking run so far, not my favorite, but his matches always deliver, and I will always give him credit for that. And overall, for the King of the Ring, hey, like I said, it's going to be based off of taste when it comes to this. If you ask me, this show gets a 7.5 stars. 7.5 stars, I think, is actually pretty decent. Maybe 7.25. I might go 7.25 is probably a little bit more accurate. Was it the best show of the year? No. Did it actually go out there and did it do its job? I personally think that it did. I think personally it got people to want to watch Raw. If you care for the Becky Lynch stuff and the stuff with Liv Morgan, I think it did its job as far as giving Cody Rhodes a nice, credible challenger to go out there to have a dope match. I think it did its job as far as revitalizing King of the Ring tournament or whatever you want to call it going forward, and hopefully we get it back next year, hopefully outside of Saudi Arabia, so it can have a little bit more credibility to it, so people will actually want to watch it and not have the stigma of Saudis attached to it, right? And I like the triple threat match with Sami Zayn, giving more credibility to the Intercontinental Championship and developing more of a story to see where we're going to go with Chad Gable going forward. A lot of things were accomplished tonight, but what I call it the best show of the year? Fuck no. Would I say that they actually delivered on this show? I think they did. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Did you like tonight's show? Or I guess today is the afternoon, right? It's only 4 o'clock. Easy sit through also. What did you hate about the show? What would you have done differently? Or hey, like I said, did you just sit back and did you enjoy yourself? And more importantly, I'm more curious about people's reaction in regards to the Orton and Gunther match. I'm very curious to see how the people feel about that match. But with that being said, folks, that does it for the King of the Ring. And tomorrow, I'll be right back to record Double or Nothing, because professional wrestling hates me and all it wants to do is torture me. So I'll be the one getting tortured, and you guys can throw tomatoes on me while I'm on the wooden spike. With that being said, I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P. Eyes.